A well-planned shrubbery acts as a dynamic architectural feature in your garden. It secures your privacy while softening the harsh angles of boundary walls with a graceful, natural edge. To achieve that effect, we need to mathematically design and space a permanent three-tiered shrubbery bed. Before we begin planting, you will need three things: a fully excavated garden bed, a measuring tape, and a diverse selection of shrubs sorted into three categories: tall, intermediate, and dwarf varieties. Timing is critical for this project. You must complete your bed preparation by the end of January, and all planting needs to be finished strictly by the last day of February. If you miss this window, your young, unestablished plants won't have time to acclimate before the severe, dry heat of May and June destroys them. Because shrubberies are permanent installations that can't be easily rearranged without stunting their growth, your success depends entirely on executing precise geometric spacing today. For a 15 to 18-foot privacy wall, build a garden bed exactly 10 feet wide against the boundary. At this outer edge, measure a 12 to 18-inch setback. Plant tall varieties here spaced 10 to 12 feet apart to establish the skyline. Setting these large anchor plants first establishes the structural backbone of the entire bed without crowding the wall or stunting their vertical growth over time. Now, shift your focus to the opposite side of the bed, explicitly to the inner edge that touches your grass. Measure exactly 12 inches inward from the lawn line. Here, use a dense clustering strategy, planting dwarf shrubs in tight groups of 4 to 6 every 10 to 15 feet. As they mature, these shrubs cascade gracefully, completely hiding the bare dirt. The final planting zone is the empty intermediate channel in the middle. To avoid root crowding, measure 4.5 feet from the tall shrubs in the back and 3 feet from the dwarf shrubs in the front. Along this center line, plant intermediate shrubs 5 to 6 feet apart. This specific mathematical arrangement builds a stepped tier effect, forming a solid wall of foliage without blocking the sunlight from the row behind them. Immediately after planting, you must water the entire bed copiously to settle the roots. But there is a critical follow-up step gardeners often miss. You must break up the surface soil around the base of the new plants. Using a metal hand cultivator tool, you must lightly churn and break up only the very top layer of the damp dirt. Churning the surface breaks the soil's capillary action. This prevents rapid moisture evaporation and traps the water deep near the root systems, exactly where the plants need it when the fiery, dry heat arrives. If you follow these steps, you will yield a perfectly measured, multicolored, three-tiered wall of foliage that provides a broken, natural skyline for your garden. However, filling a 10-foot wide bed is expensive. The primary mistake budget-constrained gardeners make is buying a few plants and spreading them sparsely across the entire length. Instead, densely plant just one short section of the bed correctly using today's exact measurements, and leave the rest of the bed empty for now. By next season, this initial cluster will be well established. You can then simply propagate new cuttings from these healthy plants to finish out the remaining length of the boundary for free. Patience and strict adherence to spatial measurement will ultimately yield a significantly healthier, more professional garden than rushing to fill a large space incorrectly.